Welcome to this week's edition of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we run down all of the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website over at stack.com or stack3d.com from the past 7 days. We're going to start this episode off with new admin stuff, just a bit of non-new product announcements. I do have a lot to get through, so if I cut through a lot of these things pretty quickly, talk pretty fast, just head over to the site. It'll be a much slower pace. You can read it all and break it down. But we're going to get into the news of the Protein Wars. It's just gone live. The Protein Wars is our annual protein powder showdown. We've been running this for over a decade now. This will be the 11th time we've run it. We essentially get every protein powder out there. We put them together, put them on a list, and we get you to vote. Our readers, our followers, everybody. And the winner, the one left standing with the most votes, takes home the crown. We've had numerous amounts of success with over the years. We've just kept it running. It's a fun contest. We don't take money for the winner, which is a common question every time someone sees someone that won that maybe they didn't like. No one pays me for the winner, just to get that out of the way. If the person who won is of disbelief to you, I guess it just got more votes. It's literally the answer. I wouldn't be driving the car or living in the house I did if I would be taking money for that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a fun-filled contest. So the opening round is live now. Go to proteinwars.com. We have, I think it's over 140, 150 protein powders in there. That's just the pre-entered list. So this is a list of brands you can immediately vote on. There is a section down the bottom if you don't want to scroll in all the way down there. And then that basically, you can enter your protein powder if it's not on the list. So that list is pretty much last year's list and anybody that else wanted to be added. If you didn't request it, I'm not adding it. So anyone who sees the list and feels a little bit offended, like, oh, why am I not on there? It's because you obviously didn't see value, or no one saw value enough to reach out and let me know you wanted to be in there. That's not a slight on you. That's entirely up to you. But that's how the list is formulated. So please don't anyone take offense by that. And yeah, so after this, we take the top 16. There have been occasions we've had a draw, so we might have taken top 17, but usually top 16, we break them into 4 groups of 4. Take the top voted protein from each of those. Then we have 2 groups of 2 for another week, and then we have the grand final, which will basically be going down 3 weeks from now, where we got 1-on-1, and the winner takes home this year's completely custom championship ring. There's only one of these ever made. I don't actually see it. I don't get it shipped to me. It goes straight to the winner just to save on money. But it's a pretty damn cool ring. And yeah, you can go on the site. We've got it pictured up there. And best of luck to everybody. And as I always say, anyone who takes part, anyone who takes time to vote, I deeply appreciate it. It means a lot to us that you just feel the need or would like to support or whatever. Take time to go to proteinwars.com and yeah, click vote. The other little bit of admin we have is news on the Arnold Sports Festival. So more announcements will be coming. I think last week we had a bit about Rain returning to the show with its giant booth that it usually has. The Stack section will have more brands announced soon. I'm trying to get these guys to announce now rather than closer to this show, just so we can get more support behind them. And I will have a t-shirt design. So bit of inside information that's not on the site yet. This will go back to a bit of history. I'm going to try and go through it quickly. So if anyone who remembers way back in early 2010s at the Arnold and the Olympia, Optimum Nutrition did this thing where you'd walk through their booth, you'd get samples, you'd get photos with, I think Steve Cook was there at the time, and you'd get a free tea. And this tea was customized to each event. So it was 2012 Olympia, 2012 Arnold, whatever. It was a quintessential piece, I guess is probably the right word, for the show. It was one of the things I always look forward to, and I collected them up and just kept them over the years. And obviously Optimum Nutrition hasn't gone to Olympias and Arnolds in many years, nor have they, obviously not been there, they haven't done the t-shirt, but I'm going to take that concept and we are getting together, I believe it is 100 shirts a day. We're going to have a special guest giving them away at the Arnold Sports Festival by the Stack section. So these will be special t-shirts printed. I think we're doing one size, extra large, just for the average person. And yeah, you're going to be able to pick them up. The first 100 in the Stack section after it opens to the public, which I think is around 10:30. Be able to just go up to the person and grab one. You won't be able to grab more than one. I'll actually be there on hand with the special guest, and it'll be a pretty cool little event. I'm coming up with a design right now. Not really going to add too much, but it's just a fun little thing, and it's a nod to that thing that I actually loved about going to the expos and being able to take away something that you just might hold on to, might remember. I don't know if you do will or not, if you'll care about it, but I'm going to, and I also wanted one, so I'm going to pass that on, and it'll be a certain amount each day, so make sure you get in quickly if you're going. If you haven't booked, it's going to be a damn good time. Now, getting into the news, we're going to start off with an announcement from Glaxon. So this past weekend was G-Day, or Goon Day, as you might want to call it. Actually, as Glaxon calls it, which is basically Glaxon's birthday or anniversary. They've been around for 4 years, believe it or not, which may not seem like a lot, but they have. They've been around for 4 years, still quite a young company, made a damn good impression on the industry. And they had Goon Day, which is traditionally where they run big sales, introduce some new products, and that's exactly what happened. We got 3 new products. There was the return of the bourbon or honey bourbon flavor of the nighttime supplement Tranquility. There was another authentic flavor put together in partnership with Pink Lady Apples and Pink Lady Apple Super Greens. And we got the introduction of Super Greens Energy. Super Greens Energy is exactly what it sounds like. It is a combination of super greens in all of its glory, superfood ingredients, Amuse. It's been the same formula, I think, for quite some time until they added the Amuse, which is premium immune support ingredient. And for Super Greens Energy, they've basically taken everything that's in regular Super Greens and added pure natural caffeine. So it's a pretty cool little twist, and if I remember correctly, it doesn't actually cost you anything more. So it's 90 milligrams of pure natural caffeine, and doesn't cost you anything more compared to regular Super Greens. Can't really complain. Anytime you get an alternative with something extra, whether it's as simple as beta-alanine free or beta-alanine added or extra caffeine, low caffeine, and the price is the same, it's a damn cool little twist. But yeah, that's what you've got over at Glaxon. They're all available now. We're recording this on Tuesday. Oh, sorry, Monday. I'm recording this Monday. I'm looking at the date. I'm pretty sure the Goon Day sale ends tomorrow. I think. I could be wrong on that. It might actually be tonight. I don't know. It was 35% off, which is a damn good saving on a premium brand like that. And it works on absolutely everything that they have available, which includes the Super Greens Energy, Pink Lady Super Greens, and the return of Honey Bourbon Tranquility. Moving on, like I said, I will move pretty quickly because we've got a bunch to get through. Cyclops Supplements, still relatively young and new growing supplement company. They just dropped their premium pre-workout Wrath. I'm trying to remember how many units they made of it. It's a loaded supplement, no doubt there. Check it out on the site. Just type in Wrath and Cyclops, it'll come up. It's pretty much, the premium pre-workout twist where you spend more to get more for your pre-workout. And yeah, they launched a very limited amount. I can't remember the exact number. But the news this week is that they're coming out with a product called Cyclops Creatine. Now, it is relatively straightforward. In fact, it's as straightforward as you can get. It is just creatine. There's nothing more added. It's just straightforward creatine. I believe it's no flavor. Now, the catch with this one, the reason why I'm even mentioning this on this podcast, is the value. So if anybody else launched an unflavored creatine at 505 grams a tub, it's not that big of a deal. Usually it's not that big of a deal. Cyclops promoted this as the market's most cost-effective creatine. Now, I went hunting to a few brands, and I did find a couple that would beat it, but you had to buy more. And then someone alerted me that there is a Nutritionals. The guys, they have a slightly cheaper version. I think it's 500 grams, not 505, but it's still beats it. I think it's like under 20 bucks or something. So it beats this one. But either way, Cyclops is coming out with an incredibly well-priced creatine supplement, regardless if there is someone out there beating it. This is damn impressive for a company that's still very new and young. And it's 505 grams, so exactly 101 servings for whatever reason. It's the 101. Each of those servings has 5 grams of creatine monohydrate for strength and power. And the price is $21.50. Now, that is not a mark you will find anyone really beating outside of us at Nutricost, and there's a couple other guys that will do a little bit bigger. And you might find some brands who are on sale, but this is not an on sale price. This is just the regular price. This just is what it is. And it's $21.50 for 505, half a kilo, 100 servings. If you're taking that one today, that's 3 months supply. In fact, it's a little more. It's 3 months and a third. So 4 of these would get you through a year, 13 months. It's a damn good deal, regardless of how you look at it and if you see there's someone beating it. And very impressive for such a young brand. Next up, we're going to shoot over to the UK. We've got a couple of stories out of the UK that are very interesting. And I have to do this big shout out to Protein Pick and Mix. If you have ever wanted to try any European, UK protein snacks, because functional foods in that part of the world is just second to none. There's no one out there who really comes close. They sell them all and they ship internationally, which is one of the big pluses, because it's hard to find stores that usually, for brands from Germany or for brands from Poland or for brands from Sweden, often they don't ship outside of their own country. Protein Pick and Mix is one of the rare stores that collects up all these products, hence the name Protein Pick and Mix. It's a very functional protein snack based retailer, and they sell them all, and they bring them in, they sell them, and then they distribute them across the UK, Europe, and all across the world. And they're incredibly reliable. But this week, they are launching a new product that they've bought in. It is their own brand called Burly, sorry, I'm trying to get this correctly, the Burly Good Co. And their first product is Burly Protein Powder. And it's relatively straightforward. Burly Shakes Whey Protein, that's the full name. Launching in 2 flavors. I believe it is Biscuit Blondie and Billionaire Brownie. Now, Protein Pick and Mix, as I said, is known for its protein snacks. Delicious, on point, great tasting snacks and treats. So I have to imagine that this protein powder is going to be in that realm. It's going to put a lot of focus on flavor. That wouldn't surprise me, and I'm just gathering that's how they're going about it. More importantly, it's very good price. And then also they revealed last week that they're coming out with a product called Burly Basics, or at least a series. So the Burly Good Co. And Protein Pick and Mix is going to be launching a Burly Basics line. Now the name is Burly Basics Creatine, but the Burly Basics part of the title looks like it's going to be a continuation. So I'm gathering that we might get Burly Basics Glutamine, Burly Basics BCAAs, whatever it may be, but this is a standalone series. Now this is not out yet, the Burly Basics Creatine. Currently they just still have the Burly Whey Protein Powder. But yes, Burly Shakes Whey Protein Powder. But you can check it all out on the site, as always, and head over to Protein Pick and Mix to get your hands on it. But it's a pretty cool little thing to see, and I've known the guys at Protein Pick and Mix for a while. Always ordered through them when I'm in the area and outside. But it's cool that they've graduated to this position, even being such a tight, small group, to come out with their own brand. And so big shout out to them, big applause to them, congratulations, and hopefully this leads to many more things, and I'll see them in the UK when we go over there for the UK Arnold. Sticking with the UK market, the other story we had from that part of the world was Sneak. Sneak, of course, famous for its marketing stunts, creative branding, and innovations. It's when it comes to doing things differently, Sneak is almost second to none. It's definitely second to none in gaming supplements. It's almost second to none in supplements in general. Earlier this year they made a wooden katana sword. They did I'm trying to remember what else they did. I've got it written. They did their own custom skateboard deck. They did a caffeinated ice pop, and now they've done their own hot sauce. Now Sneak it's really just realistically got a one signature product. It's a traditional gaming supplement built for energy and focus. It tastes great, reliable, nice moderate energy, ideal for gaming. And they do have an energy drink as well, similar kind of approach. But the Sneak hot sauce, just, why not? It comes in 2 flavors. I think it's Neon Punch and Tropicilla. And Tropicilla fans will remember because that is one of the flavors from the energy drink and the original gaming supplement. That Tropicilla is available for those 2. And of course, being that this is hot sauce and from a gaming supplement company, you know that there is caffeine in this. I couldn't find the amount, but there is caffeine in it. So you are going to get a punch of flavor and a hit of energy in this one. It is a limited product, so not around for good. It's a part of their Sneak Lab series, which I think is sort of like an experiment of innovation stuff. But as I said, it's not many brands that do things different as these guys, and this is just another testament to exactly that. Next up, we're going to shoot over to the team at Core Nutritionals. So they've been teasing a product, an authentic collaboration for the last few months. They even told me a few months back, they said this is going to be a big one. It's going to be for Black Friday. It's going to be, again, an authentic flavor, but for an authentic product, but in the functional food category, which led me down several different roads. I still think the best execution of a functional food was the Phenoflex Moon Pie or Power Pie. I don't think I've seen anyone else execute it in the way that they did, and by that I mean they brought their style to that format. So if you didn't catch my podcast back then when we did it, I don't necessarily mean like we get a protein bar made by XYZ brand and they partner up with, I don't know, Hershey's chocolate, and then they put Hershey's chocolate chips in the protein bar. What Phenoflex did was reverse that. They brought their twist of health and high protein to the original format. So this would be like if you, instead of a protein bar with Hershey's pieces in it, Hershey's Kisses or Hershey's cookies and cream in it, you would take your protein powder and put it in their format, and you'd have a block of chocolate from Hershey's enhanced with XYZ protein powder. Have you still yet to see anyone execute something like that? That's not what Core Nutritionals is doing, but we went off a tangent again, as I do, but Core Nutritionals revealed exactly what their authentic collaboration is. It is in partnership with Moose Tracks again, which is something the legendary ice cream company, they teamed up with them earlier this year, or maybe late last year I think it was late last year, for 2 flavors of core pudding, which is their sludge, their protein sludge recipe, mixed with water, turns into a pudding. And they made 2 flavors that had basically Moose Tracks fudge and all these little inclusions in it to really spice up the taste. Now, they've partnered with them again, and they've done that same kind of concept, taken Moose Tracks fudge and put it into a protein brownie and a protein blondie. Very similar concept to what we saw from GNC's Total Lean brand a few months back when they also launched a protein brownie and a protein blondie. They obviously didn't have the inclusions of the Moose Tracks, but that's what we're getting in a Core's one. That'll definitely spice up the flavor. Anytime you got a blondie or a brownie where it's got this kind of crumbly, soft consistency, these inclusions spice up the experience like no other. In fact, inclusions spice up any product that we're talking about. Any time you've got those things in there, it just really adds to the experience. And Moose Tracks fudge, obviously, if you've experienced it in the core pudding, it's going to be killer in the snack. It's going to be out soon. I believe we had the macros too, 16 grams of protein. It is one of those brownies as well, or one of those brownies and blondies that relies on whey and collagen. So there's a lot of these products out there now, I wouldn't say several, but a lot that use a collagen base brownie, and that's the protein source. So it's not entirely all whey, but Core's protein brownie and protein blondie with Moose Tracks is the same. You get 16 grams of protein from whey and collagen, alongside 13 fat, 23 carbs, and it's relatively balanced. It's relatively similar to the other protein blondies and brownies out there, but again, you have the Moose Tracks inclusions, which certainly spice up the experience. Those are going to be launching on Black Friday, so keep an eye out for those. And Core, of all the brands out there, Core is one that goes hard on Black Friday in terms of deals, discounts, giveaways. So be sure to pick it up and be in the run. It makes it the perfect time. Anytime, the first time you can get a product is at a deal, that's the best way to do it. You get to sample it, you get to sample at a discount, and because it's a protein brownie and blondie, it's something you can purchase individually. I wouldn't be surprised if they're throwing these in free, giving you the chance to try them without buying a whole box. So yeah. Next up, we've got news from Prime. The beverage behemoth Prime had a lot to share the last week. Firstly, this isn't the most recent story, but we're going to share them both at the same time. So firstly, Prime shared its projected amount of sales it's expected to do this year alone. Now, if you remember last year, it famously came out, it wasn't even in business an entire year, but it said that it was 250 in retail sales, I think, which is huge, which is, again, it's insane for a company just to start out and do that right out the gate. Obviously, you had a lot of input and help with Logan Paul and KSI, but it was a huge success nonetheless, and a very big surprise, and very interesting to see that unfold in the hydration space. We've got Gatorade, Powerade, who's on Body Armor, a lot of big players. This year, they have let out that they are projecting to do 1.2 billion which I had a feeling they might do much higher, but just to see that number, and that's why we shared it, because sometimes I get things and people will say we do this much and this much, but it just puts things in perspective, right? They're doing that much, and you know, their titles, the title drink or sports drink for the UFC, and then they partner with the LA Dodgers. It's just really impressive to see, to go from 250 to then 1.2. And that's, I mean, it is projected, but I don't think it's an uneducated one. But in addition to that, they announced that they have just sold their 1 billionth bottle of Prime Hydration. And in celebration of said effort, they put together two, how do I say this, 24 karat gold replicas of the Prime Hydration drink. So basically a bottle of Prime Hydration, but made out of gold. And each of them is worth $500,000, $500,000. And more importantly, they made two. So collectively, you're looking at $1 million. Now, what they did this for was that they took these bottles, they put them in a case with a flamethrower or a flamethrowing device. And they set them up, I think it was on Friday or Saturday. There's one in New York and one in London. Now, there was a 6-digit code, and fans were given the opportunity to crack the 6-digit code. I think the one in London was cracked. I haven't seen anything from Prime, and I don't want to burden them by reaching them out to find out, but the one in London, I believe, was cracked. But what would happen is if they didn't crack it, after 48 hours after the displays went live in New York and London, the case was going to blowtorch and melt the gold bottles. If the one in London went, I'd like to think the one in New York didn't, so we have footage of them melting it down. Obviously it's solid gold, so it can be recast. It's not like it's been burnt and torn to nothing. And yeah, so I mean, of all the stunts, when you hear they're doing 1.2 billion or projected for the year, obviously they have a lot more in this year. They have the Prime Energy drink, and they have a whole bunch of flavors, and the highly demanded exclusive Glowberry. It adds up, but then they go and do something like this. It's just really cool to see them give back and just run these cool little marketing stunts. I'm sure the fans appreciated it. And I would love to know if one got melted. I would like to have seen the video footage, and I'm gathering, I don't know about the New York one, but I'm gathering that they'll definitely, if there was one melted, we'll be seeing it and we'll be sharing it. So yeah, check that out on the side. You can get a look at the renders, not realistic, but renders of the golden or 24 karat bottles of Prime. Next up, we got 3 more stories we're going to round up with. 2 of them energy drinks. The last one is going to be worth the wait. Next, we're going to shoot to Bucked Up, who announced a partnership with the Cavinder twins, a fitness influence duo. They teamed up with them for a special edition flavor of an energy drink, but there is more to this than it initially seems. So the energy drink is just called Bucked Up Energy, but it is not a different flavor of the Bucked Up energy drink. Bucked Up has a couple. They have a low stim energy drink. They have the flagship Bucked Up. They have LFG Burn. And I said one more. I think that might be it. But the LFG Burn. So this is a special edition flavor of the LFG Burn energy drink. Now, again, put together and partner with the Cavinder twins. Now, what makes this different is that, again, it is called Bucked Up Energy. It's in a double raz flavor, kind of fitting since it's with the duo of the Cavinder twins. But inside the product is not caffeine. So this has the exact same formula as the LFG Burn energy drink minus the caffeine, but in place is the innovative Infinity Paraxanthine, the cleaner, smoother energy source. Very interesting that they added. They just used that ingredient for the first time in their Babe sub-series or sub-brand marketed and geared towards women. And now they've taken it and used it in this energy drink, pretty much pushing it into 2 products within, I don't know, like a month or a few weeks. Pretty cool little twist. Nothing like, again, very cool to see them make use of it. It's not often that we kind of get that much kind of innovation and difference, at least in from energy drink to energy drink within brand. Usually you go to different brands, different innovations, stuff like that, and they've done it in-house, which was cool to see. The next story we have, going from Bucked Up to the next energy drink post, is from Gorilla Mind. Now, talking about brands that made a splash, Gorilla Mind has had a mammoth of a year. They're not slowing down. They've been ridiculously creative and explosive this year. And of course, the Gorilla Mine energy drink has been one of the key players in that whole thing. It exploded onto the scene back in April, sold out in like 9 days or something, direct to consumer. You had to pay extra to get it shipped. And they sold out of all 4 flavors and a variety pack. It's been ridiculous to watch. It's been just I don't know, a spectacle. And the big thing that they did was not only did they put together an energy drink, they just had no competitor that you could compare it to, mostly because they'd promised this would be the most efficacious energy drink out there. They did not disappoint. The formula is the most energizing and focus enhancing competitor in that space that I've seen and experienced myself. The taste isn't supremely great like a Monster Ultra, but you're not going to complain when you have that kind of effectiveness from the drink. And again, it's not bad. It's not, I'd say it's above average, but it's not, you know, top 10 in terms of taste, I would say. But the effectiveness is there, and they have a mountain of flavors. And what the thing is with energy drinks is when you find one you like, you'll generally get used to the flavor, and you'll like the flavor and the profile and sort of the style that they do. And they've done a great job by expanding their lineup of flavors. They said they would launch one new flavor every month following the launch of the energy drink. Now, I'm not sure if they are on track for that. I don't think so, because I believe that this is basically they dropped a new one called Lucky Lemon, which is obviously a citrusy lemon flavor. It's exclusively available at Vitamin Shop, and as far as I know, this might be their 9th overall or 8th. I'll have to keep track, but I don't think that they've been keeping up with the, I think it's their 10th. I do believe it's their 10th, because there's 8, and then they did the 2 exclusives, because they had the double variety pack on their site, and then they had the 2 at Vitamin Shop, this being the 2nd. Instead of 10, they've added 6 since April, which would be May, June, July, August, September, October. So we should be seeing one this month if they want to keep on track. So yeah, we got November. We need a November one. Impressive nonetheless. New flavor, Lucky Lemon of Gorilla Mine Energy. It's out now at Vitamin Shop. And Vitamin Shop does a great price as well. It's $34.99 for a case, so not too different from their own website. But equally importantly, if you head to Vitamin Shop, you can buy a single can. So if you don't want to invest in the full case, you can just head over to the Vitamin Shop, your local Vitamin Shop, and grab a single one. But well worth trying. Again, there are some flavors I just don't like on that lineup, but every time I've seen it in a cooler, I have grabbed it. Especially when it's time to need energy for like a meeting or work or just sitting down and getting shit done. Anytime where I've required a little mental side of it, not general productivity, like in just day-to-day tasks, errands, and housework done, but anytime I've needed to focus and actually have some good output, I don't think there's a drink that I wouldn't grab outside of this if everything was available to me. But the last 2 we have, this is a big one. And this is one that, you know, we put as much as we could behind it, and I'm dying to know what it is. I don't talk to anyone at RYSE. Well, frequently no one sends me information, but this one popped up on my radar, and I know nothing about it outside of what everyone else knows and what you will see on the site. RYSE is cooking up a special pre-workout for Thanksgiving. Now, we've seen them do this before. If I remember correctly, the original Godzilla pre-workout was dropped around Thanksgiving. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And that's not the only pre-workout that they have that's in that premium range. StimDaddy is RYSE's more high-powered, high-stimulant premium pre-workout. Basically still has a balance of good ingredients for performance and a few other benefits, but it is, as the name StimDaddy suggests, it is primarily a high stimulant pre-workout. And then you have Pump Daddy, which again, very self-explanatory. It is a premium pre-workout focused more on enhancing muscle pumps, and it is a damn loaded supplement at that. Now, coming soon from RYSE is a premium pre-workout. In fact, it could even be into that area that I think has been coined called the elite pre-workout. Now, this is not something that's widely used, but referenced a couple times when you have pre-workouts that are up in that $90 price point, $80, $90 price point. I think Dethroner might be up in that area. Obviously, Apollo's Triumph was another great example of that. Vayu had a very loaded pre-workout, at least elite in terms of their level. And it's you see a couple other brands that will touch on, I think might even C4 Dynasty might even fall into that realm, because we had C4 Ultimate was already their premium pre, and then C4 Dynasty was just leagues above. the others. So that might even fall into the elite pre-workout categorization as well. But RYSE is coming out with one on Thanksgiving. We don't know the name, we don't know anything about it, just that it's a pre-workout. It is going to have 17 different ingredients. Now, 12 of those are going to be premium branded components. So this is very much in that realm of Dethroner, Apollon's, Triumph, products that are just kitchen sink. In fact, RYSE has referenced kitchen sink as for this formula. And 12 premium ingredients is, I think we listed it on the site. EcoVision's original Dethrone, I think, had 13, 14, a little bit more. I think Apollon's Triumph had a little bit more. But 12 is certainly beyond your typical 3, 4, 5 that you get in most pre-workouts. It is going to be, based on that alone, 17 different ingredients, 12 premium branded ingredients, and one of them is going to be citrulline at a dose of 10 grams. This is going to be one to watch out for. Godzilla is still one of my favorite pre-workouts. Great taste, but damn, that performance and endurance in that thing and energy plus pumps is just incredible. So I'm thinking that this is going to be a step up from that, maybe Super Godzilla, I don't know. But 12 branded ingredients, 17 in total, and it's considered, saying it's basically a kitchen sink, so it's going to be well balanced. It's going to be like Godzilla, good energy focus, pumps and performance. I just cannot wait to see how this turns out. And this is one of the things I like about these premium pre-workouts, elite pre-workouts, if you may. It's that you get the ability for brands to just pack the shit out of it. And you know that even though they've got 17 ingredients and 12 branded ingredients, if you asked another brand to do that, 17 ingredients, 12 of them branded, they're not going to come up with the same 17 and 12. 100%. That's just how it is. And that's what I like about these extra mile pre-workouts and supplements, where it gives brands room to breathe, pump out more, just give us more of what they want, what they like to see, and what's going to set them apart. So yeah, that you can see a glimpse of just a little teaser that we put up. It's not actually the product. We made the image. But we've run over what's been said about it. Kitchen sink again, 17 ingredients, 12 branded. One of them's 10 grams of citrulline. I'm excited to see what it is. And obviously leading up to Thanksgiving, I don't know if it's going to be unveiled on Thanksgiving. I wouldn't be surprised if they share it like the day of and then launch it at like midnight. But it is arriving alongside Black Friday. So you know that there's going to be a deal. There's going to be a great way to save, which, as I mentioned earlier, anytime you can get a new product at a deal is the best time to do so. And if you're a fan of pre-workouts, this sounds like it's one we're not going to want to miss. So I'm going to be picking up myself a tub. I love Godzilla, so anything as comprehensive and more so, I'm not going to say no. So check it out on the site. As with everything we've mentioned on this podcast, head to the site, check it all out. Follow us every day. We share news, 10 to 12, 15 stories a day. We make sure you keep up to date with the supplement industry. Not at 2. We do get a lot of stories that we just don't share purely because I know that we don't want people to feel overwhelmed. I think we got the sweet spot at 10 to 12. There's a science or a thought process behind it, if anyone's wondering. But yeah, check out the site once, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, every day. Share it with your friends, your mom, your dad, brother, sister. And that's all we ask for. That's the support we require. Just visiting the site, keeping up with it. And once again, as always, thanks for tuning in and thanks for listening. Look forward to seeing you again next time.